This is partly part of the reason why I don't stream too terribly often, because there's so much downtime. Even at this time, I guess. This is like prime time there, and I'm just getting bad streak here, because normally the queues are pretty good at this time. Especially for my YouTube videos, they've been really good. It's just... Oh, there we go. Speak of the devil. It's just trying to avoid getting like the same opponent over and over again, because I like a little bit of variety just for the sake of preventing it from getting boring or repetitive, or just feel like it's the same type of match over and over again if it plays out the same. Nonetheless, we got Tau. Torpedoes will be good against this. 600 point assassination. I'm trying to figure out if this is a lower admiral level or not. I honestly can't tell. I'm trying to think back to the assassination missions I did against Orc in the ranked mode. Were they 700 points? Because this could dictate a lot on how I approach this. Especially since I'm the defender too, which is going to suck. Although I could just kite him all day, but actually, Colonel's Pattern would be good here. Void Stalker would be good, but it can be run down, especially with air cache. Need to be careful. So Colonel's Pattern I think is in, just because it has the speed to kind of keep away from the Tau Seeker well, the Tau in general. We'll have the Eclipse and 2 Auroras serve as a deterrent. And I got room for a Hellborn as well. I like this fleet. I just gotta try and get that sweet spot with the Colonel's Pattern. Close enough that I can support the rest of my ships, but far enough away it doesn't get run down, quite frankly. It doesn't get run down and immediately killed, because that can happen with the sheer number of railguns he has on those ships. It can die really quickly, but at least it's not the Void Stalker, which it has the speed, is what I'm referring to at least keep its distance relatively well. I'm just going to get stuck in... I'm going to have an awkward time with the corner of the map when I try and circle past them. That's going to get when... That's blah. Let's just keep focused there. Let's just keep focused, because my thoughts and my words are running off on me now. So, we'll keep the Shadow back as much as possible, trying to support the rest of the fleets if he decides to send bombers after him. So that way they don't die in a blaze of glory to the damn Manta bombers. And then the trick, of course, as I was hinting to, is trying to get past them. Because I don't want to sit in this corner all day with ships that aren't meant for staying still. I'm going to need to make a play of some kind and punish them for it. But with that said, without doubt, I want to be in the middle to leave my options open, I think. So that way I can juke left and right really easily with false maneuver. Then everything else, we'll just try to be the deterrent. Try and deter... Actually, let me separate these a little bit better. Because I'm going to have issues with these things in close proximity, so... It would serve me better to have ships with different speeds of staying away from one another, ideally. And then I'm going to have to fine-tune how to get an easy way to avoid them colliding to each other and messing up each other's pathing. That's the main thing I'm going to need to figure out. Nonetheless, let's get ourselves ready and see what he has. Because I'm still not sure if he would be the same Admiral level as me or a lower Admiral level. He definitely could be a lower Admiral level. I'm pretty certain he has access to... Was it to Assassination before Admiral level 8, without a doubt. I'm trying to figure out if there's a 700 point Assassination only for Admiral level 8. That's the only thing I'm not sure of. But we're going to try juke. We're going to make him come to us. And if possible, try and harass. Because I have the means to harass. Okay, so 2 protectors it looks like. 2 protectors it looks like, so we're going to harass, we're going to deal with these seeker missiles relatively well with the fighters. And we have a sauce, 2 sauces right there.
Acknowledged.
So this is going to be awkward for me dodging. A little bit awkward. Haha, your experimental railguns did nothing. But we know where his points value is going at least. Now we gotta deal with this quickly.
Infinity circuits active.
Deal with these ships quickly. Now get on out. Oh, 5 seconds for torpedoes, so we'll happily take that. 2 seconds for you.
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
There, now everything get on out. Wreck his ships. So he's not exactly max level fleet, but with favors he definitely has a really well equipped fleet, I think. But that boost was amazingly timed. It was not planned though, so I'm not gonna brag that much about dodging the railguns, but that basically, I think that took no damage at all. It was just seeker missiles that hit that thing, I want to believe. So I could be very happy with that result. Hide everything. Give me some window for dodging. Yep. He wasted a beacon, so that means nothing's going to stick. And now, try and get torpedoes off. Because this is going to hurt. This definitely hurt. And now, let's try and preserve my ship. So, what time do I have left on my micro warp jump? 1 minute. So, I killed his main favorite ships already, so I have nothing to really worry about. Aside for those bombers, maybe. Oh wait, those are my bombers. I worry for nothing.
The Eldar stand ready.
But nonetheless, a good start. We have him in a panic right now. He has a crew war spear way on the left. Ooh, I feel sorry for that thing right now. I feel sorry for that poor thing. 100 points, a brand new ship even, and it's not going to contribute. Oh well. I won't destroy any more of his ships. I just destroyed the valuable ones, quite frankly, with the experimental railgun. And if he decides to come after me, then I'll have no choice but to kill him. Kill his fleets. Because so far, that was amazing success, and like I said before, I luckily managed to dodge the railguns, so at the very least, if I know he has experimental railguns, and if I'm really fast, because there is a bit of a charge up to the fire, their weapons firing. So I could in theory just dodge them outright with a well-timed boost. So that has good potential right there, just ruining his favors upgrade altogether. At least the main upgrade for having Earth Cache, because investing in the extra upgrade slot can be a bit of a trap if you don't know what you're doing, because you're investing so much more in single ships, which can leave you vulnerable in a best of 3, where your ships don't come back if they're destroyed. As made apparent, as I found out, with Solare there. Apparently he only had one protector with actual upgrades, let alone a favor. So, you can punch that really nicely there if you got a reliable way to kill off his ships without really losing your own. At least that's easily. But that was amazing success. A little bit of a passive game for me there, aside from when I decide to jump his Earth Cache ships, but an amazing success nonetheless. I am really happy with that. And of course, going after Sauces that don't have any fighters or any hangar bays of any sort does help with that a lot, quite frankly. It helps a ton when they don't have like a custodian with 6 fighters protecting them. Never mind the fact that my torpedoes are just even more hard to kill with this dodge property I have. So, there's promise there, at least if they're not with the rest of their main fleet, or at least carrier ships. So, we have the renown now for our all-the-way favor.
Their death was foretold.
Now, we just build up towards the Kronos patterns, and maybe someday I'll figure out how to use the shadow. Although, the sad thing is I already forfeit the shadow for extra Kronos pattern for the ranked mode, but I still would love to know its niche, without a doubt. Because there's some value in there, especially with extra torpedoes, but the only real thing I could think of is the points. At least if I were to take an Eclipse with bombers, that is a really big discount. Because hell, I think these Eclipses here, I hope I don't accidentally replace it. Let's see. Yeah, it's almost, well, it's 15 points cheaper, or 15 points cheaper, quite frankly. So that can add up there quite well, especially if I'm good about utilizing Hellborn, which makes a perfect substitute, or supplements that extra point reduction really damn well for me. And what about the Kronos? Well, actually, taking Auroras is probably more real, question. If I weren't to take a Kurnos pattern, yeah. That's almost enough right there for a Hellborn. It's 50 points if I were to downgrade from a Kurnos to an Aurora at least, so I can get almost a free frigate for that. Well, hell, it is a free frigate if I were to go Hemlocks. So, I like this prospect. It's still a question, like I said before, what the hell to do with the Blade of Destiny. What to do with this ship. Star cannons are great if it can keep firing on the target there, which means I have to put in a position where it's not at risk of getting horribly murdered by frigate swarms or anything like that. But with that said, the star cannons are actually pretty useful against frigates, especially low health ones. It just doesn't really have the armor durability to take the ramming suicide very effectively, though. That's the main problem, I think, as far as frigate swarms. Because what? Any 200 health frigate basically has 50 armor, so it's basically damage-wise, the amount of damage both of our ships are taking, not including the fragile state, which just reduces the ramming damage I do to him. Yeah, he's hitting just as harder than I am hitting it, which is kind of embarrassing, but again, they're Eldar. Should I really be surprised? A damn frigate is ramming me more than I'm ramming it. Especially 200 health frigates. 100 health I can get away with. I just got to be willing to live with the consequence of taking so much damage, though. More damage than I would be comfortable with, anyway. Now, we got a traitor, apparently, so we're gonna have to fix this. We're gonna have to fix this little traitor problem we're having. Thankfully, he's not Dark Eldar. This would make for an interesting mirror match. I don't even know, quite frankly, what Dark Eldar fleet are like in Battlefleet Gothic, so let's see. I know he's Chaos, and I do need experience against Chaos Lance variants, though. Which, with that said, I'm really hesitant on fielding frigates, just how easily they could die, because they can only take fires and hull breaches as far as critical hits. And he does have bombers as well, but the points kind of... Unless I want to... Well, actually, let's do the Void Stalker and 3 Auroras. I think I like this this composition a lot more. We have the fighters for defensive purposes. We have amazing firepower in the Void Stalker, and the Auroras can do hell of a lot of damage. If they can ever get on top of their target. And they got the speed to chase down those convoys really well, too. So, let's see how this goes. This one, he could be at any Admiral level. I know Convoy is only 300 or 600 point battles, so he could be level 8. He could be lower. I have no way to know, so bonus points could be a bit of an issue if he's getting a lot of them. But again, I have no idea what to expect from a Lance-fearing Chaos. I just know that they are eventually going to hit me, just due to the sheer amount of weapons with Lances he has. I can't just simply boost out of the way and dodge them. And if he has the lock-on upgrades to make them even more ridiculous at critically hitting me, then I'm going to have to take those Lances super seriously, despite my hollow field advantage. I would like to spread these ships out, but actually, for the sake of trying to learn how to micromanage these ships, I'm going to have one Aurora to the right. And with my Void Blending, I can at least safely maneuver them around. It's just going to be tricky getting them all to engage together. And that's going to be my main issue anyway, with Eldars trying to multi-manage multiple fleets coming from multiple angles, with all of them potentially dying in an instant if I don't control them for even an instant. Because that hollow field drops down quickly. That hollow field just leaves them so vulnerable if they're not moving. Hell, even moving at half speed when they start slowing down. They're prone to dying exceptionally fast. Never mind the fact that we're dealing with Lances potentially, that rely so heavily on that hollow field being up. Because it is, after all, an 80% absorption or deflection of Lances, so we don't want that to go down any at all if possible. If at all possible. But we're going to make the priority focusing on the convoy unless he's defending them, which, if he realizes how Eldar works, he's probably going to do a smart thing and have his convoy hidden behind his fleet. And with that said, he probably will hide in that gas cloud on the right, so I need to be mindful of that too. So be ready to do that. Hell, I almost want my 2 Auroras over on the right side for that reason. Let's switch them around, because it's more likely he's going to be on this side than anything else. So group 2 is over there. Nope.
Moving to that location.
That's not what I want. I thought I unreadied myself, which is why I was a little bit caught off guard there. Maybe I was unready. But I was right in my assessment there, and that he would be over on this side. So let's get on moving. Try and harass, and I do again have torpedoes.
Stealth is the key to success.
I do have torpedoes and I also have void plane, which will make it really difficult for him to throw beacons on me.
Yes, Commander.
So, he looks like he's using he's already using one fighter to kind of spot, so let's chip him down.
Until the end.
We got fighters available to easily deal with that. Do I have lances in range? Not quite. And he does have extended range, so can I fire on this thing? Not quite yet.
The Eldar stand ready.
Torpedoes sadly were a big dud, but that thing dies. So one of his spying ships are gone, if nothing else. Not a big success just yet, but
As you wish.
if he has any beacons, he's not utilizing them very well.
Yes,
Because he had a window to do that. So maybe I should consider that as him not having the lances or the beacons.
We ride the solar wind.
So get hit in, start running,
Service.
and now get ready to lance him down.
We have found the enemy.
So Star Cannons, they did their they did what they need to. Torpedoes are about to hit that ship. Now Auroras, get to work.
Acknowledged.
I have torpedoes also up.
Setting sail.
Oh, and this is a Hellbringer, so we're going to make that a priority, but gotta be mindful of his convoy, which is right over there.
Until the end.
So,
Returning infinity circuit to
okay. Oh, there's something I didn't know either. It's apparently gets rid of my Wraith Bone shift. Huh, this is interesting, a little development. I was always wondering about that, but this is something to learn here. Now I just gotta avoid keeping this thing, getting this thing killed off. Especially when he's ramming himself really well. So, get on in there. Get this ship ready to move.
Eldar stand ready. Moving to that location.
And now get on out. Oh, that was a bad falls maneuver there.
Move at full speed.
Thankfully it didn't get me killed, but still, I would have liked not to have done that, quite frankly.
Move at full speed. Yes, Commander.
So,
We obey.
we have these to deal with. We have an Aurora. We have bombers coming up.
The Eldar shall triumph.
And let's try and kill his devastation there. Because we're about to do it there right now. Devastation gone. I did lose an Aurora, but
Infinity circuit to rest.
we have the means to do some damage now.
Yes, Commander.
Where's the slaughter? Oh,
Destroy them.
let's kill off the slaughter. This Nurgle's an annoying little threat. I just gotta be mindful of
Eldar
Slanesh.
stand ready.
Be mindful of his Slanesh favor.
The void is our home now.
So torpedoes are going on in. We're gonna boost on out
Infinity circuit to rest.
and keep on firing.
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
There. Let's see his Nurgle do that, because I already wasted my boost. Ooh, and this is gonna work out nicely.
To the void with you.
Enjoy this, folks. The torpedoes are gonna miss. His attempt to ram my Void Stalker was for nothing. Although he is gonna try and ram me still, so I need to be ready for that.
Infinity circuit stand.
I would hate to lose these ships ideally. Especially since it denies my warp in. I have torpedoes as well. That's gonna hit. Not well, but it hits. And let's see, saw it running. Huh, that's interesting. So that, I wonder what triggered that beacon there, considering the fact that I just now decide to saw it run, and he beacons me. Because you figured he would have beaconed me all this time that he had. I'm a little bit confused by that, but let's deal with our friends here.
We have found the enemy. Setting sail.
Can I board it? Okay, board it.
Returning infinity circuit.
Use the cogitators to the best of its abilities. That's gonna explode, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, that's gonna be annoying. Jesus Christ, these damn convoys. They're annoying, aren't they, when they explode as they do. Oh well. We almost got there, it just was the mistake to not focus on the convoy was all it is. It was a winning battle though, regardless. I just spent too much time dealing with the cruisers when I didn't need to. But still, good match there, good learning experience with Slanesh. Now I just gotta figure out how to deal with that better. Especially when I have no idea, since I have no early warning with beacons and that unless I want a suicide frigate. But even with Slanesh, that had promise. I just gotta make sure I don't die immediately. Especially the ramming attempts. Because that's what the Chaos player is probably gambling on, because it doesn't kill my hollow field, so his lances are still mostly useless. Outside of lock-ons and lucky hits there. So it's really falls maneuver, and apparently my Wraith Bone shift it denies. Yeah, but you have to keep in mind the storms only works when their shields are down, and I only just started attacking them at the end. I probably could have, if I had enough awareness, but I need to actually take down their shields if I want to kill multiples of them. Otherwise, the storm just becomes just really another weapon, essentially, to hit a single target. But you could be right. There may have been windows to do that, especially since, now that I think of it, they were exploding. Although, was the Auroras close enough to actually do that now that I think of it? Because they were trying to hang behind the Carnage. Yeah. The explosions alone opened up that window for the storm now that I think of it. Yeah, maybe ram it, but the Void Stalker was kind of already low health, and I like to preserve their experience a little bit. Because this is not a ranked mode. And even just losing the Void Stalker in that matchup, killing a Slaughter and, was it 2 cruisers? Yeah, it was 2 cruisers and a Slaughter, and I don't know what else he fielded. So sadly, I would be training a Void Stalker for a bunch of cruisers, and he would still have his battleship and 2 battle cruisers, whatever he would be fielding. Yeah, no, you're pretty much right there, Bran. It's because of the Void explosions. They actually would kill all of the shields. So a Maelstrom actually would have been useful there, but I would have to be aware enough to catch on to that. But ideally, I would have liked the Void Stalker to live, but in all honesty, for a best of 3, would suiciding the Void Stalker for the win be worth it? Because again, 3 cruisers and he still would have his battleship and battle cruisers. Is that a worthwhile trade? Especially since I already killed 2 of his cruisers anyway. Really hard to say. Especially since I don't have much experience against Chaos anyway, and I feel like they might be my hardest matchup with the potentials the Lances could do. More of the random factor than anything else, because I do have 80% chance to block the Lances, but they have so many Lances that they're going to hit without a doubt. And they can get some really surprising amount of critical hit chance with my damn fragile state. Because they have like that overload that further doubles their lock on, or rather adds an extra 100% increase to its critical hit. And I never did take the time to look at what the critical hit chance are for the Lances for Chaos. I'm assuming it's 1%, so we're easily looking at what? 175 for Master Gunner, 3.5 for the lock-on, 4.5, oh wait, no, 4.2 for the overload, fragile state, so that's 8.5 right there. We're easily getting to 10% chance for a single lance hit that does get through. And that's what I'm referring to by the random factor. That can so easily screw me over rather. And I want to figure out how to minimize that, as if at all possible. Nonetheless, I've been focusing on Chaos. I'm not sure what to do about this match. So, 600 points. That answers my question about the assassination earlier. So, let's see. Oh, he was playing Tau 4. This time he's playing Imperial Navy, I think. I think this was the Tau player. I'm so lost in thought because of that thought process I'm having, trying to figure out how I should play against Chaos. So, with that said, let's try something different. I shouldn't need a Eclipse or a Shadow for the bombers, because really, if he's going to have bombers, it's either an Emperor or Marses more often than not, I would think. And if he has Marses, if I see fighters, I'm going to assume he has Nova cans, so this should be alright. I don't have very many frigates that can just die to random Nova can hits, if nothing else, so big question is, how do I spread out my fleet? Because I would like to try and minimize Nova can damage some. And with the speed difference, I can easily do that by having the Auroras and Eclipses pair with each other. They should separate enough that the Nova can should not hit both of them without really trying, so I like that prospect. Now it's just a question of the Hellborn being useful against Nova cans. So assist focusing gone, movement beginning, so we know he's lower level than me, so he's easily, what, 690 points, so that is almost enough for another light cruiser. So this could be a game of attrition unless I get some really damn good Maelstroms, which Maelstroms are pretty much my only advantage here, just about. And with all of them, all my ships having Aldway, I'm pretty resistant against his lightning strikes. But otherwise, my firepower isn't really any better. My torpedoes are probably not going to hit as much if he's fielding a lot of light cruisers, let alone frigates, which, judging by his numbers, he's got a frigate swarm. He's got a frigate swarm, so good news. We don't have to worry about Nova cans. Bad news, we have to deal with a swarm.
Swiftly.
So, my ultimate strategy, I guess, is to try and always be threatening to hit him with one of my ships. Force him to try and deal with multiple threats. Maybe, if possible, make him try and maneuver multiple fleets. So, light cruiser, torpedoes of some kind, probably Tyrant, maybe, because I'm not seeing fighters suggest a Dictator just yet.
Move at full speed.
Or it could be a Gothic, which would be interesting if you took a Gothic. And I'm about to fly these torpedoes, so ideally, kill the cruisers if I can, but realistically I'm going to have to deal with the frigates before I can get at the cruisers.
Until the end.
So we'll see what kind of damage we can get done. And more than likely it has supercharged void shields on those cruisers, so probably a Widowmaker right there, if I had to guess. And then we'll just try and chip off some of these frigates some. Do I have any way to kind of effectively gauge? That's 10,000 units there, I think, with the Stasis Bomb. Yep. As I predicted, it's a Widowmaker. I just gotta be careful. I am in the corner of the map, so the damage needs to stick. I need to kill stuff quickly, especially if my only escape path is going to be boosting through his fleet. Because he is trying to get a nice concave window here. So actually, instead, let's have a backup fleet ready.
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
And he does have firestorms, interestingly enough.
Moving to that location.
So, fleet number 2 going in.
We have found the enemy.
So we'll try and stall. I don't think torpedo's gonna hit, sadly. Nope.
The Eldar stand ready. As you
And now
wish.
everything else go on and try and deal with... Give my ship Eclipse some support fire.
Yes, Commander.
Ah, god damn it. I was hoping to kill that. It did not happen. Maybe I overestimated it, but I got his attention though. I got his attention there. Let's try and provide some support fire now.
Infinity
As we
circuits
deal with these
active.
his ships here.
The void
Now
is
get
our
my ships out of the
home
way, because this is going to hurt some.
now. Yes, Commander.
Now fire damn pulsars. I know there's a frigate in the way, but you can still fire those pulsars. So don't lie to me.
Acknowledged.
And now light cruisers come in. I would like to go make that a priority, but torpedoes and all that suggests I have to make it... no. I'm going to have another priority. So, boost on out. Hope I don't kill myself horribly, because I am taking some fires and damage. So fire. Wow.
We ride the
I was hoping that would do more damage than it did. Apparently not.
at your service.
Now, if the torpedo could kill the frigate, we're golden.
As you wish. The Eldar stand ready.
Okay, one frigate down.
Yes, Commander.
Now let's deal with the light cruiser. Now, that's still alive unfortunately, but it's almost dead.
Moving to that location.
And we have the reinforced armor there to help deal with that.
Move at full speed.
And that dodges.
Moving to that location.
Ooh, that was close. That was damn close. It's going good, but this could go horrible so quickly if I'm not careful.
Setting sail.
And did I avoid a ram, or was that a double ram that I just commit myself to?
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
Alright, everything repaired. Let's try and collect ourselves as much as possible, because this is not a comfortable position for me. I'm sure you can understand why.
The void is our home now.
Okay, so Aurora's being on out. This is about to boost on out. We dodged the macro batteries, so that's the best value of a Wraithbone ship yet.
Brace for incoming.
Try and continue to kill off his ships.
As you wish.
And hope these torpedoes hit, although hoping to hit a frigate with torpedoes is wishful thinking. Especially if I'm not at point blank range. But we took out a good chunk of his fleet at least, so this is still turning out well. Just not ideal.
Vessel.
Okay, good.
Commander, we obey.
Good, we killed off the ships. We had to waste more pulsars than I would like, but
Returning infinity.
it's a good exchange. Ooh, and the prow's going on the... What is it? The Overlord. Ooh, it was actually an Overlord. I thought it was a Tyrant at first. Now, I forgot about my Maelstrom, mainly because I have little opportunity to actually utilize it, but we're golden. Let's try... Now we have a window to maybe deal with this Dauntless here.
Stealth is the key to success.
And he still has the Widowmaker, doesn't he? Yeah, I tried Solid Running, he still has a damn Widowmaker. Where is the Widowmaker anyway?
It is our home now.
I don't know what a Widowmaker is, and until I kill it, this Silent Running maneuver is not... Oh, crap. That was bad.
We ride the solar winds.
And now their movement's compromising each other's there.
Cruising speed.
We could still salvage this, but I kind of feel like it's time to
Until the end.
cut our losses there. Where is the Widowmaker anyway? Oh, the Widowmaker's hidden now, so I have no idea where it's at.
Yes, Commander.
At the very least, I want to keep this ship alive.
We cannot linger. To the webway.
Keep the Aurora alive, if nothing else. Because we only actually have 3 more frigates to deal with, apparently. It did die, damn it.
An Eldar ship has been destroyed.
Well. Let's get on in.
As
Try and do some damage. Although I wasted my micromanagement there some.
we have the advance.
Board. I forgot about boring. That's actually an option against these frigates too. If only a little bit dangerous.
To the void with you.
And now, let's try and get on out.
We ride the solar winds.
Because the brace for impact will actually be so much more useful here.
Acknowledge.
With the dang Widowmaker causing issues.
Moving to that location.
Okay, I actually do have repairs back up, so at least I have that to help deal with heavily damaged results. Now let's kill this last frigate, get this thing to hopefully avoid heavily damaged result. And I know where you're at, so it doesn't matter to me. Although generator does matter. Generators do matter, so... Okay, we're golden here. And of course, wasted another damn pulsar shot when I didn't need to. But now, the worst is over with, but do I have the health to actually effectively fight this? Probably not.
At your service.
Now, is he going to try for a ram attempt?
Swiftly.
Nope. Instead, he's going to try to ram me here.
At your service.
So, does that hit? Aw, bad angles. 3 bad shots, and one of which is threatening to hit me.
Move at full speed. Setting sail.
Let's try and preserve our ships. Let's get the second Aurora out.
Move at full speed.
Alright, Michael warped that out. The Dauntless is almost dead, and there's the Widowmaker. Or no, it's another sword, damn it. So I did actually kill the Widowmaker. This is good info. I could abuse this.
The void is our
I just gotta kill these frigates now.
Yes, Commander.
Kill these frigates. There. I can abuse this now. Silent running is now an option. Although that Aurora's threatening to die a horrible death because of its dang generators. Oh my. Okay, we have breathing room. If nothing else, we have some breathing room.
Move at full
And with nothing heavily damaged, I could get my health back up.
We ride the solar winds.
I'm just gonna have to be careful of getting run down. I've been forgetting the dang Maelstrom. I don't even know if that's a valid... Yeah, the Dauntless has shield, so... That was pointless. That was pointless, but let's collect ourselves some. The Overlord took no damage anyway, so... My health is more value than his.
Setting sail.
And I could still go after the Dauntless pretty soon.
Stealth is the
Oh yeah, they don't have void blending just yet. For some reason I thought they did. For some reason I thought they did, but...
Eldar stand ready.
If I can get repairs, then at least help some.
Bone singers.
I just gotta have my Falls Maneuver ready for dealing with that Overlord. Because the macro batteries, I can actually dodge the macro batteries with a well-timed Falls Maneuver and the boost.
As you wish.
Just not when I'm flying directly towards it. Fingers crossed though. Because this can still hurt a lot for him. If I can get a good torpedo salvo in. I just thought I had void blending, so this is probably not as valuable as I thought it was. And I don't need to boost just yet. Ha! He thought he could be sneaky. Does that hit? Ooh. I hit the wrong button. I was going to fire torpedoes. I was going to fire torpedoes and it didn't pan out. Okay, that dodged macro batteries. He still saw it running, so I still have to contend with that. No, you are not going away.
We ride the solar wind.
You are not going away, sorry. Now we're in a position where we can actually deal with his Overlord.
Setting sail.
What the hell? Is it me? Or is there another ship underneath me that I have to worry about? I feel like I'm going crazy. There. This is what I'm talking about there. Since I only have one ship to deal with, I actually can attempt to dodge the macro cannons.
We obey.
With Falls Maneuver. The Lances, not so much.
At your service.
I just need repairs, though, to help mitigate.
Swiftly.
No, that one still did hit, though.
The Eldar stand
Waiting for
ready.
more macro shots. Because I noticed somewhere
As you
that
wish.
the little blip, though, is weirding me out, though.
At your service.
That blip that I'm seeing on the planet below is really throwing me off.
Home now.
So, I'm trying to figure out where he's at. Since I don't have my... Again, my void blending is kind of hurting me here a bit. Because I was I'm coming up with excuses now. I'm kind of coming up with excuses. Let's forget about that. Let's just focus on winning.
The void is our home now.
So, torpedoes sadly are a bit of a dud. But we're going to have ourselves a nice little hit here. Did torpedoes go up properly? No, damn it. I misclicked it just at the inappropriate time. Oh, I do have my forward shield. Damn it, and I was about to get repairs back up too, so... Yeah, well, we could still work with this. He's gonna take a world of hurt. Especially now that he's in torpedo range. Let's not screw it up this time, please. So his shields are up. This is still hurting, but we could still win this. So long as I make sure this Eclipse is taking the hits and not my other one.
We ride the solar wind.
And hopefully these torpedoes hit. Never mind, I take that back. I nearly hit myself. So do I get the board? I got a fire assault, so it's definitely dead, without a doubt. Can I finish it off? Victory is possible. Oh, I can't look. I don't want to see this. Did the explode? It killed it, didn't it? I saw that coming as soon as I saw the damn void explosion. We won, though. It was with heavy losses, but we won. Because after all, sinking with a best of 3, a ranked mode match in mind, we just traded a light cruiser and a battle cruiser for a battle cruiser and a light cruiser. So I didn't really gain anything at least in terms of attrition and my damn Aurora. Although to be fair, for ranked mode I would have had the Navigator to get rid of the Lost to Warp effect. Oh boy, that was brutal. It was intense dealing with a frigate swarm without bombers, because quite frankly they're like the easiest way to deal with a frigate swarm. We still managed to win that just by the skin of our teeth. Just by the skin of our teeth. And he did, again, I need to emphasize, he had bonus points. He had maybe 90 bonus points, at the very least 60, so we kind of went above and beyond what you would probably normally encounter for a ranked mode match. So I think celebrations are in order. I just wish I drank champagne, let alone had one on the table here to celebrate with. Nonetheless, we have our renown because of all those damn frigates we just killed. How long will the stream be? I'm gonna try for another hour about, unless I get really hungry, because normally I would have food in about half hour at this point, but I'm gonna try and stream for another hour or so, roughly. At least that's the intention. But with that said, let's finally put the same hand favor to its test there. I am really curious to see how well I can utilize this, especially against that Widowmaker that's been causing me issues. Because in theory, if I'm on top of my game, this has the range to jam a Widowmaker. I don't need to tell you potentially how valuable that is, even if it's only for 20 seconds.
We have come to bring death to the primitives.
I am really curious to see how this works out. I need to really put some time into practicing it, mind you, but I am curious to see how effective this could be at taking full advantage of my foil blending, even on the aggressive front, because, mind you, I've had limited success in using it for my Imperial Navy fleet, but it was damn essential having an Auger Disruptor and at least dealing with those Manta Bombers. At the very least, I can say that they are pretty integral with dealing with them, especially if I'm in a gas cloud. Nonetheless, let's try for another match, see if we get a rematch with them, maybe. And I'm wondering if I should invest in all these repairs, because there's a lot of costly damage here. And I did actually bring water this time. I'm not going to suffer from a broken throat. Here's hoping anyway. But I'm sure if I stream long enough, that will eventually happen no matter what. Despite my best attempts. But let's at least repair one Aurora, so I at least have 2 to utilize. And at the very least, I find this so much more enjoyable than what you probably normally encounter Eldar playing as, which is just their Eclipses, their Voidstalker, and just hitting you with bombers all day, and max range pulsars essentially. Whether I'm playing any better to justify it as a better strategy, I couldn't tell you. At the very least, it's far more enjoyable. But well, it's a data recovery, so this is going to play out a lot differently. Unfortunately, with him revealed, it doesn't help me so much unless... Do I really go with 2 Chronos patterns to abuse his revealed ship? On the plus side, I know he's not against going fighters frigate swarms, so I probably would do this as a meta choice anyway, because I'm suspecting him to go more frigates. The question is, do I take these 2 Auroras as well? They worked well before, and the Maelstrom will be handy for doing additional damage. I just gotta remember to use the damn things. Understandably, I was kind of a little bit busy dealing with like 20 ships in the last match to kind of remember to use them. Not to mention, I'm kind of honestly expecting my pulsars to kill off the ships for me. More so than having to rely on the Maelstrom, because, interestingly enough, the Maelstrom restricts my movement a little bit if I'm not smart about how I place it, because I do want to maximize damage, but at the same time, when I'm at the edge of the map, I can't really go the direction of the Maelstrom because it's kind of blocking the path now. So there is a little bit of a double-edged sword, at least as far as the last match is concerned. There is that issue I have to worry about. But it makes interesting, dangerous terrain, if nothing else. I'm threatening him to go around it, and he has Nova Cannons this time. So that's good to know, and it's a Dominator this time. So all I know is he has at least 1 Dominator. Does he have more? In all honesty, does he have more? I don't know if it matters too much. But for the sake of keeping this thing alive, we're just going to have the Aurora or the Hellborn hang back a little bit. These 2 Chronos patterns are going to stay together and just bomb his flagship there, his Admiral ship. Although this isn't really the situation I want to practice the same hand favor, it's a good opportunity to use it if I see him with a Widowmaker. Because I'm relying more on the bombers, which I kind of would value detection more than cloak and dagger maneuvers, stealth in general. But at least I can get away with the data recovery, since his ship is always revealed. But if it's behind all his other ships, then good luck having those bombers actually hit. Good luck actually having them hit. Speaking of which, where would he deploy? There's a gas cloud there, it's the only thing I see, so maybe a corner if I had to guess. If I had to guess, it would be in the corner.
The Eldar stand ready.
Yep, and he's in the corner, and thankfully it's where my 2 cruisers are near. I just need detection now, so... I need detection. Without a doubt, we know he has at least 1 Nova Cannon. Is anyone really surprised? And I don't think I need to deploy fighters, do I? I don't need to worry about his torpedoes so much unless I get careless. Although, considering I used my bomb, I already used my boosters. Probably was not the best idea. Oh well. We're good at dodging that at least. It probably was not the cleanest dodge, though. And I do have 2 Chronos patterns to actually shoot these things down. I just gotta be mindful of his dang... What is it? He's gonna try and warp out at some point. Now, Auroras, get to work. Get to work. Oh, I forgot to turn off the assist, damn thing. Okay, so get this thing out already. I stumbled enough after that match. Let's not stumble anymore if we could. So, we're hitting the jamming maneuvers beginning. We still have to deal with the damn Dominator though, so I have 2 minutes.
Yes, Commander, we obey.
I have 2 minutes to do that. And he does have a heavy fleet, actually, this time. So we dodge that.
Yes, Commander.
We're gonna have to dodge, killed off the frigate, and which one's the Dominator? Oh, just hanging back. So let's... He made a bit of a mistake here, so let's punish him for it, shall we? It's gonna be tricky to try and punish though if his ship's right here. But let's see, boost on out. Yeah, this Colonel's power could threaten it easily enough. And get in range of the Dominator and hopefully get out of range of his sensors. And I can use the gas cloud to hide easily enough. This Kurnos is able to threaten the Dominator easily enough. And focus the generator. Okay, so I wasn't paying attention to him unfortunately too much, but let's see if we can kill this data. Hell, well, who am I kidding? I just want to board it, quite frankly. I could do that at least, right? Nope, I don't have any boosters, so unfortunately I've taken a hit here. So I panicked a little bit. And of course, there's no point trying to board that because he can easily, immediately lightning strike me. So there is risk trying to go in aggressively like that. But I am hitting from multiple sides, so I can still take out the shield for a relatively safe lightning strike. Now if all the pulsars can only hit, we'd be golden. We would be golden there, and okay, so unfortunately we wasted way too much time, and I could still go after that. Sadly, not exactly a comfortable matchup trying to get aggressive there, especially with Eldar. I have the damage potential, but not exactly comfortable getting to boarding range. My Auroras can easily take out the shields, though. Probably not the best display, though. How do I do that different? How the hell can I do that different there, aside for going super, super aggressive and hope I don't die? Because Auroras can easily take out the shields, assuming he does not have his supercharged Void Shield up, and then I can immediately lightning strike if nothing else. And then it's just a matter of somehow not having a lightning strike hit my other ships, because again, he still has what, 90 points potentially there? 90 bonus points, so it's not like we're fighting on equal terms there as far as number of cruisers at least. And I basically was as lean and as light as I could as far as the cruisers go. Because hell, I didn't even have 2 of my Auroras, so I couldn't even go 4 Auroras. So that was basically as many cruisers as I could possibly field. And I also got my level 6, so what do I want for my level 6? Only thing I can really think of maybe is extended range. I have Beltar on him already, but I don't know if that's what I really want. I have the Solar Accumulator for a ranked mode, but better safe than sorry until I can have a better idea, I suppose, for the belt armor. Let's try another one. There's a good chance I'll just encounter him again. And this time I will attempt to be a little more aggressive, assuming it's either a data recovery assassination or something. I just need to look for that window to get aggressive. Because flying right next to all his Dominators and Cruisers is definitely not a good idea. Especially when he can ram me, and I maybe attempt to use a boost to get in close. Which leaves me with very little wiggle room for getting out. We will see. A little bit of experimentation, but we did win against the Frigate Swarm. And I would argue, well, he did have Firestorm, so arguably that was potentially not as dangerous as it could have been. Maybe swords would have been better because of more macro turrets. Hard to really say, to be honest. But Planetary Assault works well for me there. With my ships being spread out, I almost don't even need to engage them. Almost. And I can go with the Void Stalker. Well, I don't have a third Aurora, unfortunately, to do that composition again. But, can I? No. I can't quite field a cruiser and 2 Auroras. I can get close with the Shadow. Not so much, I can go 2 Auroras, 2 Eclipses, though. That gives me a good fleet to spread out with, and no, I'm not taking the Kurnos, although I am fighting Chaos, so it's not actually a terrible idea. Now, that's Chaos, it makes me wonder, do I feel the Kurnos pattern or not. Let's go without the fighters. I really need to start getting used to not relying on them to keep myself alive, especially against fighters and bombers. Because for crying out loud, that's what the void blending is supposed to be for. I should get used to this. So we're diving into the fire den. We're going to have no protection whatsoever if he has the heavy bomber fleet. We're going to have to rely on good boosting and really good positioning, because if I boost out as the bombers are reaching me, it gives me multiple opportunities to shoot down his bombers at least before they actually can bomb my cruiser. So it's not a terrible strategy in of itself. It's just the risk of being overwhelmed and taking a lot of damage, especially with the fragile state. But with that said, I do want to spread out a good amount, ideally. Do want to spread out. Eclipses probably are in the middle. They have the firepower to complement each other nicely, and Auroras can open up for any objectives on the side. I think that works well. And hell, I could void blend them right at the beginning because one's already in a gas cloud. I think I want to wait until a little bit later though, because we have 2 minutes till the objective, so I want to make sure I have the assault running currently up at least when the objective appears, to make him really paranoid. Well, we do have a fighter, a carrier fleet, so this is going to be a good test of how my crisis management and micromanagement is, because my eclipses can shoot them down if I time my boost really well, but other than that, I have no easy way to kill off those bombers. And void blending is active. We're just gonna go and deal with these beacons relatively quickly. Oh, and it helps if I turn this damn thing off too. That would be kind of nice. That would be kind of nice. And if I'm really lucky, kill with pulsar as well. So we'll try and hit with pulsars. We still got plenty of range. Gotta get ourselves in a good window and hopefully kill this thing. There. So what? Okay, that beacon's gone. We're good here.
Enemy defense platform eliminated.
He did launch a beacon, but thankfully I could boost down in a moment.
Moving to that location.
Just get ready to dodge.
Move at full speed.
Initiate dodge beacon protocol. Protocol's a success, maybe. Don't jinx it just yet. And get ourselves ready to flank and punish. Because yeah, he's already hitting left apparently. He suspects something.
Moving to that location.
And I don't see any other beacons, because really I want to practice against recon probes, because they are a big risk with how easy they can stick on me. But we can go in for attack run, give them something to worry about, because now we have plenty of breathing room here. And this Aurora could start doing damage on this one.
We have a new target on the planet.
Ooh, that's an awkward spot, but I can hit it.
Returning infinity circuit to rest.
I can hit it, but it falls going around.
Until the end.
So let's give him something to worry about.
The Eldar
Let's give him something to worry about. Because if I get stuck in the beacon, he may actually be tempted to go after these ships instead. Yeah, he did sort of beacon on. Okay, that's what I was kind of curious about. Although I could disengage, so long as the hull field's still up, I could take these well.
Until the end.
And I mismanaged that so poorly too. So we boost that out, we deal with those bombers relatively well. Thankfully he's not super lance heavy, so I have that.
Swiftly.
And now let's try and kill this thing proper, because I'm getting this thing murdered. This is a poor display, isn't it?
Until the end.
So now we gotta threaten to kind of punish this. Because I can still get out, I just gotta get out of vision.
Acknowledged.
I just gotta get out of vision and punish him. Because if he's not gonna take advantage of this beacon, then I can just hit him.
Setting sail.
There goes his bombers. They're a little bit wasted.
The Eldar stand ready.
There, now he's turning his attention to me.
Moving to that
These ships
location.
are hitting. Took a little bit of damage, but they're hitting.
Acknowledge.
And now we're dealing with these bombers here nicely with this eclipse in the way.
Move at full speed.
Okay, I'm starting to get used to multitasking now. Nobody panic. I think we know what the hell we're doing. We still haven't had much of a window to punish them though, but
The void is our
we're doing
home
good in
now.
that regard a little bit. So, second
At
beacon's
the
up.
service.
We're almost there already, yep.
Moving to that location.
So, identify all you want. Where's that beacon going? Yeah, it's going over there. That's not a surprise.
Yes, Commander.
Actually, we can juke this.
As you wish.
So, he's panicking. He's panicking with the Stig at least,
The
so...
Eldar stand ready.
So we do have that, and so how can we...
The void is our
We still
home
need to
now.
punish him though, because the fact he's boosting doesn't help me all that much.
Move at full speed. Moving to that location.
Okay, now controls are getting a little bit wonky here.
Your death.
Because I said I told you to repair.
foretold.
Okay, he did repair. And that was a bad shot.
The void is our home
Bad
now.
torpedo shot, unfortunately. But this Maelstrom's gonna make up for it.
Move at full speed.
Gonna make up for it. This is a bad position for my
To the
dang
void with you.
ship there.
Swiftly.
Alright, so keep on going.
Yes, Commander.
Sadly, torpedoes are a bit of a dud.
Setting sail.
And now the lock-on and critical hits are starting to hit me. This is what I was worried about, the
Eldar
lock-ons.
stand ready.
This is kind of what I was worried about.
Commander, we obey.
And I lied, I guess, when everything was looking under control and my torpedo's gone. Okay, now I realize that.
Damaged.
Needless to say, this is getting hectic.
Yes, Commander.
I got decent damage on the Stig. I got it to run away, and his fission is not going to do a whole lot. Stop rebelling. I thought I told you to keep moving. You're not doing it. But maybe I should have done a direct
To the
assault.
void with you.
Maybe I should have done direct assault instead. But
Until the
with his
end.
lock-on gone, because I know he kind of expended it, so
For Kayla Mencha
we should be
Kane.
okay here.
We ride the solar winds.
So keep fire torpedoes. He does have a battleship, so this is gonna hurt some. Now get all my ships in there.
Swiftly.
So keep on firing, keep on damaging, keep on hurting.
Move at full speed.
Nope. My controls are rebelling on me. Why can't I select this damn thing? Thank you.
Moving to that location.
Last thing I need is more issues with my control.
Cruising speed.
So we got good damage on the battleship at least, but it doesn't do me much just yet.
Infinity circuits active.
Okay, so
Swiftly.
there's this slash there, so we're doing okay here on damage. We're messing it up quite heavily, but we're still doing alright on damage. We could still kill this thing potentially, and it's gonna get stuck in a stasis bomb really quickly. We're just doing a horrible job with this dang thing.
Returning infinity
I am
circuits
going to
rest.
admit I'm doing a horrible job controlling this. But considering we're still alive, I'm happy.
Kayla Mencha Kane.
Considering we're still alive and about to kill a cruiser, I'm happy about this.
Acknowledged.
Although, get this thing moving again.
As you wish.
There.
The void is our home now.
So, big ship gone.
Move at full speed.
Sadly, that objective's gone, so we can't avoid any more objectives if we can help it.
Destroy them.
But we have the middle of the map right now, so despite how horrible display that may have been, we're doing okay. And he's a bit trapped in the corner right now, so
Yes, Commander. We have found the enemy. Yes, Commander.
so bombardment appeared. Ooh, perfect position. I'll happily take that.
We obey.
I will happily take that. Thank you kindly. Gives me some time to repair as well.
Till the end.
And he is firing turrets at me, so we need to punish that. We need to punish those Stigs.
At your service.
So we're gonna do just that. Come here, Stigs. I got a little present for ya.
Call forth the bone singers.
Now, actually, let's force him to move.
We have unleashed an orbital strike.
Now we have some free time to play with here.
We have found the
Oops, I did that wrong. I was hoping to false maneuver and it was still on cooldown, so
Eldar
I'm an idiot for letting that happen.
swiftly.
And that thing's dead, unfortunately. But torpedoes make up for it, maybe?
Setting sail.
There, we got ourselves a Stig.
For Kalan Menshakain.
But at what cost? At what cost was that Stig? With the damn explosions I have to constantly deal with.
Until the end. We ride
So.
the solar winds.
Come at me. Come at me, Stiggy. I will happily take your punishment. Because your Slaanesh,
That location.
even with your Slaaneshes, you're doing crap right now. I'm winning this bout and I've just been running away from you all day, so... Can I brag that maybe it was foolish to worry about Slaanesh so much? Because I just won. I just won and I've been trying to run away from him all game. I consider that a damn good success. How's that for just sitting in your corner and running away from me? Oh wait, that was the other guy who was... The Imperial Navy was the one that is. I'm mixing these players up. Oh yeah, Dragon was the one who had the convoy that I kind of been neglecting all this time. That's what it was, but... Oh boy. That felt like it was nothing but mistake after mistake trying to micromanage everything, but through my blundering, and maybe with Isha's favor, blessing, or whoever the god is for luck, we managed to pull through. We somehow managed to pull through. Don't ask me how we did it. I feel like I deserved to lose that match. That was my perspective anyway, because I literally had an Aurora sit there in front of a beacon for God knows how long, doing absolutely nothing. Does that sound like optimal play to you? I think not. Nonetheless, we have our second sim hand, and thankfully, this now gives me a window to start practicing with this sum. Especially if I ever go double Kernos, so... I like to experiment with it, and I like to at least know for certain if I want to start utilizing it or not. So, we have enough ships, or at least enough jamming potential, because that's what? 80, was it 50 seconds plus another 40, so yeah, we have almost, with the Spirit Stones, if I can chain them perfectly, almost indefinite radar jamming on at least a single ship. If I could chain it perfectly, I think I can do that. It doesn't want to account for the Spirit Stones just yet, even though I have 2 upgrades on them. So what is the actual cooldown of it? Because it's not saying here, unfortunately, so I'm left wondering. But damn. Damn, that was a win. So, I might as well try for one more at the very least. And we'll see what happens there, because I'm starting to get a little bit hungry now. Normally I'd be eating at this time, so I'm pushing my stomach aside for the sake of the stream. And we got ourselves a cruiser clash, so we just embarrassed his biggest fleet. We destroyed 2 Stigs and a battleship without even trying to make that my priority. I think he may be a little bit butthurt. A little bit sore about that maybe. So the big question is, can we do it again somehow? The real trick is, how do I account for Slaanesh? Because I've been doing alright, just because he hasn't been doing the damage he needed to. Maybe, do I wait until his bombers go out, then start purposely getting aggressive to trick him to use his Slaanesh favors while his bombers are still on cooldown? I honestly don't know how I should approach it, but so far, it has not been as scary as I thought it was, is all I know. That is all I really know. And I don't know if this is an ideal strat either, but let's just get some more practice with Chaos, if anything else, because I know I could do a crap ton of damage to that dang despoiler. Jeez, this thing just got murdered horribly by all the lance fire. Once I decide to focus it down and stop running away, at least. And I do need to keep in mind again the lock-on potential, because there's a lot of critical hits I could suffer from. But if I see him lock it on, and then I wait until his lock-on falls off, then at least I have an amazing window to punish that, because he's not going to get the bonus critical hit from it, if nothing else. So, a lot of trial and error I'm going to need to do in these matchups against Chaos, but so far, it's been working really damn well for me. Even with Slaanesh that I've been completely ignoring multiple times. Multiple times there, and he is clearly a max level fleet, or at least a damn well equipped fleet, because he has favors on all his ships. Or at the very least he has a favor on his damn battleship, so he's more equipped than I am, if nothing else. Oh boy, folks. I think he may be upset. He has decided to unleash the swarm on me. Although, with 9 ships, really, in all honesty, he has what, 3 cruisers still? I think those are 2 cruisers, I could tell without a doubt. But are they Hellbringers or not?
At your service.
I honestly can't remember the points of the frigates off the top of my head. I think the 200 health indolator is like, what, 55 points, I think? 40, 51? I can't remember exactly, so I have no way to really know how to add the points up in my head quickly.
Yes, Commander.
But we're going to try and do some damage, and of course we know he has beacons, so I do need to be careful.
The Eldar shall triumph.
I don't want to burn my salt run too early. Well, actually, I should have burnt it right away, quite frankly. Should have burnt it right away. Wow, those missiles actually dodge, which is interesting too. Oh, let's try and fix this, because I'm messing up my pulsar as a result of this. Was that one of my ships or one of his? Yeah, that was one of his, okay. Nobody panic. Nobody panic, we're doing golden. And he does have like a crap ton of cruisers, so. So this is gonna hurt because he has slaughters now, so maybe that's what I should have kept in mind, was the slaughters. Okay. So we can deal with this cruiser relatively well. Maybe not so much the damage potential here. Missed the bombing. Engines are destroyed there, so. And I gotta keep in mind I'm in a damn asteroid belt, which is not a good idea. Not a good place to be in. Yeah, this is blundering a little bit here.
Yes, Commander. We obey.
It still should be able to move just fine, though. Just get firing on the ships and we're golden, because... Okay, engines are dying, so he's getting the critical hits this time he wants.
As you wish.
So, he wants to kill this? He's gonna have to try for it, then. Because now all his fires are gone. Pulsars are about to come back up. And we have a bunch of bombers to unload on them. Oh, I messed it up a little bit. Yeah, Void Stalker unfortunately is gone. Maybe a little bit top heavy. And the bombers unfortunately did crap. Probably because they died before they could reach the cruiser. But, can I still kill it? I can still kill it. Now, hit the... Let's see, micro warp jump, where's that going? So, everything get on moving. Now, these torpedoes hit. Torpedoes are a success. Torpedoes are a success, now we just gotta keep on hitting. Start dealing with his damn frigates, because he's only got like 4 of them now. I just did a bad job utilizing my poor Void Stalker effectively.
We ride the solar wind until the end. Move at full speed.
Okay, torpedo hits. We can still kill that Carnage, or Devastation rather, if I'm good about this. He is sending bombers after me though.
Until the end.
He's still sending bombers after me, so we need to punish that. Although with pulsars dying, not likely.
To the void with you. Yes, Commander, we obey.
And I only have 1 pulsar left on this thing either, too, so I'm going to get a little bit overwhelmed in a moment.
Yes, Commander, we obey.
I'm going to get a little overwhelmed, especially now that my deck's also dying too, apparently. I have 2 decks gone. Although it's not too terrible, actually.
To the void with you.
That's actually not too terrible, so long as I'm good about my torpedo hits.
Infinity circuit to rest. Setting sail.
Alright, get on in there. I told you to attack. Although, I should have fired torpedoes ideally before I attacked, but...
The void is our home now.
could still do damage. Could still hurt his ships here.
The enemy
We killed the Idolator. Or the Iconoclast, whatever the hell the damn thing's called. I don't care. It's dead regardless. So,
Commander.
keep on hitting it.
Setting sail.
Keep on hitting it. Keep on going after it, ideally. And don't forget my repairs. That's going to be pretty important.
We ride the solar wind.
And hope these torpedoes do work too.
At your service.
And no, stop.
We have found
Stop not moving. I don't want you to stop moving at all there.
swiftly.
Okay, so the bombers are up. He's used his Slanesh favor, but I can still outmaneuver him some.
Triumph.
I'm just not in a good position with the slaughter in the way.
We ride the solar winds.
So just keep on going and try and hit this Carnage. And the slaughter's actually a big threat too.
As you wish. Acknowledge.
So,
Swiftly.
get on moving. Try and finish it off, because
Move at full
now
speed.
pulsars are back up. I can actually do that.
The Eldar stand ready.
2 seconds.
The void is our home now.
Keep on moving. Keep killing that devastation. Bombers are a bit of a threat.
The Eldar stand ready. Move at full speed.
Almost there. I have no torpedoes though,
Location.
and this ship's not doing crap right now. Nope, now they're gonna hit each other. This is even better.
Moving to that location.
Now it's falling apart. Now, come on.
The Eldar shall triumph.
If you can do one thing, it's to kill this thing, hopefully.
Swiftly.
Ah, damn it. Wasn't meant to be. It was close, but wasn't meant to be.
Home now.
Ah. I could still kill the devastation, but can I kill a slaughter? Probably not.
Setting sail.
I might as well cut my losses now. The Void Stalker actually turned out to be a bit of a liability with his size and speed. So that's interesting to know, but again, I tried to get too aggressive
As
too.
you wish.
It soaked a lot of the fire though, I just wasn't in the window to punish it with the Auroras very well.
Speed.
Well, live and learn. We embarrassed his battleships and his Stigs, if nothing else. I just did not account for a slaughter at all either, which quite frankly may not have done as much as it could have. I don't think so anyway, but definitely something to think on, a lot to learn, because I got a good amount of matches in with Chaos, so in the end I'm happy with it. In the end, I'm really happy with it. Now we just gotta figure out what went wrong, aside for the control issues. Because I think the Void Stalker wasn't meant to be that close. Hard to say. In all honesty, it could have stayed close there and just been a little more aggressive, possibly. Because it did have his attention. again, the Auroras did not contribute in any way to take advantage of that. Really hard to say. Although I could have kept the 9,000 units and it would have been fine. It would have been fine there. So yeah. A lot to learn. That was probably definitely a mistake though. But, thank you to everyone for tuning in. I think I'm going to stop now, I think. Get my senses together, actually eat something. And I will try and get this onto YouTube as quickly as possible. So, thank you again everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me blunder. It's somehow coming out on top still. Which probably means Eldar are overpowered. That's the only conclusion we can come up with, right? Nonetheless, thank you all again.